Welcome to our demonstration of FMCommander. This day we're going to be looking into FMCommander's FI or Find Information mapping screen. We'll start out with a study that's already been done. This is a translator study at these coordinates here and the center of radiation, the HAT, for K206BW. Notice FMCommander's interference screen has incoming and outgoing columns. These represent the distance in kilometers between the outgoing interference contour and the incoming interference contour and your protected contour. So a translator can have interference incoming but should not have interference outgoing. The three stations that we were concerned with, we just pointed out with the cursor. Right now I'm going to show you that you can go to the reference screen, and it's all you have to do is click into these values, and we'll change the power here to 55 watts. Now we have a screen that tells us that what the maximum power can be, and you can change a number of the variables here when the text screen is showing for any one of the stations. For example, this is the 47 meter HAT, and again we have this pop-up that tells you what the actual maximum HAT and power can be at this specific location. So we'll go into the mapping screen, and you can see here the 60 dBu of the translator. We can move these values around, and you can put them where you want. Sometimes they might overlay another line, and to clear them up you can move them. The nice thing about FMCommander is that you can get the 60 dBu of all of those stations having an interference relationship with your station simply by clicking on the call letters in the list box, as well as the interference and protected contours. You can simply click into those and they come up immediately. No typing in of values. Here is a situation where we're receiving interference from KJMC, and we'll change. That's the interference we're receiving. The overlap here is shown, the protected contour being the black and the interference contour being the 54 dBu interfering contour. I'm changing the scale now. We'll zoom in and you can see it a little clearer. You can see where the overlap is, and we'll move some of these values around. And so that's the nice aspect of this program: instantaneous coverages and interference maps. And we're going to change the scale here to a smaller scale, and this is how you change the scale with the scale feature. And this looks like a pretty good scale that we'll use. We'll show you how you can put the labels on. Here's an arrow, and then we'll put a label right up there at the end of that arrow. Let's see, my contour, and click OK. And there is our value. We can right-click that label and move it around to where we want to. You can actually move the arrow as well. We'll click into the arrow tool and right-click on the end of the arrow and move it over to where we want. And this is the deselect tool. I will deselect that arrow, and we have now a pointer tool. And the map looks like it could use some more features, so we'll go into the map features routine and add all of these features, and let's put some Cardinal Radials on it as well. Over here we click Cardinal Radials, put an extra radial through the city of license, and this is Adel, A-D-E-L, and it's Adel, Iowa. And now we'll click OK, and this will draw the 60 dBu with our label, and it will have the 8 Cardinal Radials, with one of the radials going right through the city of Adel at 64.3 degrees. At this point we'll move over to the 60 dBu again. We'll show you how you can zoom in and have the scale automatically zoom. Scale automatically zooms for each one of your service contours. Now we're going to actually put in more than one contour. We're going to use the station's 54 dBu and put it in, and we do that simply by clicking the reference station. We can actually put in any other station's 54 dBu or other contour. Right now we're going to do a special contour. This is the 52 dBu contour, and it will be the F5010, which is the interference contour, and we'll click the reference, and now you can see that we're doing a special contour here. We can also put in a number of other things, including circles. Let's put in a circle right here, 16 kilometer diameter, and you can see the circle will pop up onto the map. And one of the things that you can also do is import a Dtc file with our contour feature, and this is an AM file or a plot file coming from one of our other programs, including AM Pro. So the program can be used to show both FM and AM service and signal contours. And at this point we're going to show you how you can actually compare one antenna with the other with the same station. And I'm going to put in the compare mode, and I'm going to call up the actual license record. Notice it's a directional antenna with a scala. It's pointed toward the northeast, and I'm going to drag rotate that, and you can see what happens in the background to the service contour of the actual directional antenna. So you can do some comparisons between what it might be with your reference station Omni and what it might be with directional on the same map. This is a handy feature and often used when you're doing analysis on various stations. And now we're going into the Internet Mapping menu, which is an optional feature for you, the Internet Mapping feature, and show you FMCommander's integration with a couple of Internet mapping sites. One of my favorite mapping sites is Bing Maps, and here you can see a close-up of the tower that was selected from any of the stations in your Find Information screens list. We need to click a couple of times to show you the reference station's tower. So as you have seen, with just a few clicks of your mouse, you can check out a given station's transmitter site. So that was a K206BW's transmitter location. And here it is with a topographic map. And that little cross indicates the actual transmitter based on the coordinates. It's nice to have these maps integrated into the program. Simply clicking on them will take you to find you additional information. Now I'm going into the FCC website. It's all I have to do is click that arrow up there, and now you see it turned red, so that indicates that we are actually into the FCC website, and you can look at the various applications put on file by this station. This station says permit canceled, so actually it's back onto its original license, even though it got a permit initially for a different set of coordinates or power or something like that. You can also see the authorization, the license, or the construction permit authorization. Basically, this is just using the FCC's website through our program, which makes it a lot easier than trying to navigate through their new program, their new website, which is really quite more difficult. Here is the total allocation study for K206BW. And as you can see from this study, you can see all of the interfering and protected contours of the stations having a relationship. We can shut off the co-channel and the first adjacent channel. Right now, I'd like to thank you for listening. We appreciate the fact. Hope you'll go to our website, www.v-soft.com.